So AI tools, they're just everywhere, right? ChatGPT, Midjourney, you name it. And you know you should be learning them, but seriously, where do you even start? Well, there's this one platform, Coursiv, and it's making a pretty bold claim. Master AI in just 15 minutes a day. In this explainer, we're going to dig in, break down their whole approach, and see if that claim actually holds up.
And hey, if you feel like you're just drowning in this sea of new AI tools, you are definitely not alone. I mean, how many of us have bookmarked a bunch of courses promising ourselves we'll get to them someday? The real challenge, though, isn't the intention. It's turning that intention into an actual practical skill without getting completely overwhelmed in the process.
You know, the problem is, most AI learning out there seems to fall into one of two camps, right? On one side, you've got these super technical courses made by engineers that kind of assume you already know what an API is. And on the other side, you get these vague, inspirational talks that get you all excited about what's possible, but never actually teach you how to do any of it. For most of us, let's be real, neither of those is going to work.
So here's what we're going to cover. We'll start with the AI learning dilemma, then dive into Coursiv's microlearning approach. After that, we'll look at how the platform actually works, figure out if this thing is for you, and finally, we'll get to the verdict, pricing and value. Let's get into it.
Okay, first up, the AI learning dilemma. This really gets to the core of the problem. You know, it's not about memorizing the definition of AI. It's about closing that massive gap between knowing a tool exists and actually being able to do something useful with it.
And that's really the heart of it, isn't it? The question most people are asking isn't what is AI? It's, okay, cool, but how do I actually use this in my work? You know, for my marketing copy, for my project management, for all my daily tasks. Because for any busy professional, sitting through a 40-hour course is just, it's a non-starter. And that's exactly the problem Coursiv says it can solve.
All right, so let's get into Coursiv's approach. Can you really master AI in 15 minutes a day? Their entire platform is built around this promise, specifically for people who need those practical skills but just don't have huge chunks of time to set aside. So their secret sauce is something called microlearning. And it's pretty simple, really. Instead of dumping a massive 30-hour course on you that feels totally overwhelming, they break everything down into these small, bite-sized daily lessons. And this isn't just for convenience, it's actually based on how our brains learn. We're just way better at remembering things when we learn them in small, consistent chunks instead of cramming it all in at once.
And apparently it's working. The platform has blown up to over 800,000 users. I mean, that's some pretty serious social proof right there. It tells you they're definitely tapping into a real need people have.
So what do you actually learn? Well, the platform covers a pretty wide range, something like 25 to 30 different AI tools. You've got the big names you'd expect, like ChatGPT and Midjourney, but also more specialized tools like Jasper. The whole idea seems to be giving you broad exposure so you know what's out there, rather than just doing a super deep dive on one single thing. Okay, so that's the big idea. But what's it actually like to use? Let's take a look inside the app and see how the whole thing works day to day. So one of the main features you'll see are these 28-day challenges. It's actually a pretty clever way to use gamification. The idea is to get you to replace that mindless social media scrolling with, building a valuable career skill. Every single day, you get a new tool or concept, so by the end of the month, you've actually gotten hands-on with 28 different applications.
Pretty cool. And every lesson follows this really simple but effective 4-step structure. First, they explain the concept. Easy enough. Second, they show you how it's used in the real world with actual examples. Then, and this is key, you immediately get to practice it yourself, right there in the app. And finally, it wraps up with a quick quiz that forces you to remember what you just learned. That's called active recall, and it's huge for making information actually stick.
They also have this other really smart feature called the prompt library. You know that feeling when you're staring at a blank ChatGPT screen and have no idea what to type? Well, here, you can just grab one of their proven, pre-made prompts to get started. It's kind of like having training wheels when you're learning to ride a bike. It gives you that initial support, but you're still learning the mechanics of how to do it on your own.
All right, let's get down to it. The big question, is this platform actually for you? Because look, even a great product isn't the right fit for everyone. So let's talk about who should use it and who should probably skip it.
Okay, so this platform is absolutely perfect for you if you're a professional who knows AI is a big deal, but you just feel totally overwhelmed by it all. It's also for anyone who's been meaning to learn but just can't commit to a whole weekend boot camp. Basically, if you need practical skills you can use tomorrow and you can find 15 minutes in your day, then yeah, this was designed for you. Now, who should skip it? Let's be clear. If you're already an AI power user, I'm talking you're building your own custom GPTs, this is going to be way too basic for you. And if your goal is to be a machine learning engineer, you're going to need a much more technical curriculum. Coursiv is all about teaching you how to use AI tools, not how to build them from scratch.
Okay, let's get to the verdict. We're going to talk price, value, and give you our final thoughts on whether this is a worthwhile investment.
So, pricing. Typically, you're looking at around $20 for a 4-week plan and about $40 for a 12-week plan. Now, of course, this can change depending on where you are and what promotions they have going on. But just to put that in perspective, for most of us, that's less than what we spend on coffee in a week.
And here's a really important detail. They've got a money-back guarantee. That's always a great sign, right? It shows they're confident in their product, and more importantly, it means there's basically zero financial risk for you to just try it out and see if you like it.
So, the obvious question. Couldn't you just learn all this stuff for free on YouTube? And the answer is, yeah, probably. But what you're really paying for here is the structure. It's the difference between having a guided path versus just trying to piece together a bunch of random tutorials. It's the difference between knowing about AI and actually knowing how to use it effectively. So, time for the final verdict. For the specific person this is designed for, Coursiv is a really solid investment. Look, it's not going to make you a tech executive overnight, but it absolutely delivers on its promise. It gives you the practical, hands-on experience you need to start using these tools in your work, like right away.
But, at the end of the day, whether you pick Coursiv or go with free resources or find some other platform, that's not really the most important decision. This whole AI landscape is changing so fast. The real question is, when are you going to start building these skills? Because you definitely don't want to be playing